the bread kitchen. The modern Hovis tastes nothing like I remember it as a child, and that's because they've had to change the recipe quite a bit. Today I'm going to try and recreate the taste of my childhood in an old style Hovis recipe. So to make this loaf I've got 500 grams of strong white bread flour, 300 grams of lukewarm water, 55 grams of wheat germ, 1.5 teaspoons of dried yeast and 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses and 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Now a couple of words about these ingredients. You might be surprised that I'm using white flour for what was a brown loaf. Well, originally Hovis was made with white flour and it was coloured brown by stuff they added into it. On wheat germ, you can usually buy wheat germ from health food shops, or even some big chain supermarkets have started selling it now. We'll start by putting the molasses into the lukewarm water, stir to dissolve, then add in the yeast, mix well and leave for about 10 minutes so the yeast can start working. Put the flour, the wheat germ and the salt in a bowl and mix together. Now make a well in the centre and add in the water, molasses, yeast and the vegetable oil. Then mix to a nice soft dough. It'll take a good 2 or 3 minutes to incorporate all the ingredients together into a dough, but keep with it. And what you'll end up with is this nice soft and just very slightly sticky dough. I'll now knead the dough for 10 minutes to make it nice and smooth. So after about 10 minutes of kneading, you should end up with this nice, smooth and springy ball of dough. Pop it in a lightly greased bowl, cover and put in a warm place and leave it until the dough has about doubled in size. My dough has risen beautifully. I'll just lightly flour the surface, turn the dough out and knock it back to get rid of all the gas. Now pull the dough together and just knead it gently for about 2 or 3 minutes. Now at the end of kneading, pull out the edges, press them into the middle, turn, so we're stretching the gluten on the top, turn over, plump it up, and stretch it out a little bit as you're doing this. Then pop it into a greased loaf tin, push it down. Then I'm going to pop it in a large plastic bag, or you could just cover the loaf tin and leave it in a nice warm place to prove until it just about fills the tin. This has risen beautifully, as you can see. I'm now going to bake it at 190 fan oven, 210 normal oven for 35 minutes. And there we go. Doesn't that look lovely? I'll just get it out. Now I'll leave this to cool. So let's cut into this loaf and see what we've got. Not bad. Well, I have to say, this tastes much more like Hovis as I remember it. Of course time can play tricks on your mind, but it's more like Hovis of my childhood than the Hovis you buy today. I hope you enjoy making your old style Hovis, and do join me next time in the bread kitchen.